Hey everybody, Rosemadder here, and welcome to part 99 of my Umineko Let's Play. In the last episode, we had the big fights between both Bernkastel and Badler, and then we had Erica versus the Golden Land. Unfortunately, things are not looking good for our team. The Golden Land seemingly has fallen, and Bernkastel is just assaulting Badler. It just seems overwhelming for him. I mean, Bern, took out Lambda. Badler's the only one standing in the way, and Badler is certainly putting up a good fight. He actually had Bern on the ropes for a little bit, but it seemingly has taken a turn, and now he's seems to be overwhelmed. But I'm waiting for the big miracle to happen. Come on, we know what's going to happen. They're not going to end with the defeats. That would just be such a downer. So the question is, how is this going to end? Will Angie maybe step in with the power of love and maybe transform into a witch and take Bern on herself? I don't know, but I imagine we're probably going to be wrapping things up soon. If not this episode, probably within the next couple of episodes. I'm just super excited after such an action-packed episode last week to get back into it. So yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens next. The waving snakes raised their heads and surrounded Angie. Angie had no blades to fight with. She could only cling to her brother's dead face, saying his name over and over.
意外に退屈な最後だったわ。これでチェックメイトね。
The 8 snake heads all attacked at once. Angie held her brother's face, thinking about his final words. My very first wish, that could be only one thing, that everyone would come back. That fueled my life for 12 years, until I was so exhausted that I abandoned my own hope. And in exchange for the hope I'd abandoned, I searched for the truth. And at the end of the truth, I was confronted with something brutal and ruthless that I had no need to know. And as a result, I was faced with the true despair of knowing that no one would come home. The final hope, which I'd abandoned but hadn't been able to let go of completely, was crushed. The single truth. Only I hadn't learned it, I might still have been able to keep hold of that faint hope. But now... You can still have it. You have strength in your hearts, you can still have it. Remember your very first wish. Badler was coughing. Impossible. The miracle happens. His whole body had been pierced, and he'd been completely dead. For him to cough would be too much of a miracle to be possible. You think death will be enough for Badler? You think that's enough to keep him down? Come on. The power of love made him rise from the dead. Badler rose to his feet slowly. Though blood still dribbled from his mouth, his expression was fearless. However, Angie didn't stand up. She kept sitting, her head lowered. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yeah. Badler is dead, but Ikiko? Whatever that name is. That's the new persona. Badler's dead, but they're alive. Or maybe it's the whole thing of she's alive and he's alive in my heart, and that's enough. Oh, so it's just The power of denial.
お兄ちゃんは生きてる。
I jokes, but this is very heartwarming.
そしていつかきっと私のところへ帰ってきてくれる。
そうだ、お前がその希望を失わない限りついえる奇跡なんてない。
この奇跡の魔女を前にしてお前が奇跡を語るな。飲み込め、すりつぶせ。兄弟揃って消し去ってしまえ。
消せやしないのさ。世界すべてが認めなくても俺たちが信じる限り奇跡は起こるんだ。
The 8 wriggling snake heads transformed into a massive whale jaw and swallowed everything.
奇跡なんて起きない。お前が心を許せる者は誰も存在しない。だから死ねー。いるわ。みんなが私を守ってくれる。
Oh my god, it's all like, are we gonna have a CG of like the whole family just kind of providing a barrier and protecting her? The cruel wave of mystery that tried to swallow everything was gouged deeply by a massive wedge. That deeply pounded wedge could only have been used by someone who had both talent and a deep love for mysteries. Yeah! She's like, sorry I'm late. A woman who stood back to back with Badler, launching stakes, was very, very clearly. She knows how to make an entrance.
あんたの赤き真実が、赤き真実は絶対、それは誰が抗おうとも絶対に覆せない完全なる真実。世界中のすべてが私の家族を否定しても、それを一なる真実として突きつけても私は認めないわ。なぜなら
Angie slowly rose to her feet. Give her a cool CG. Come on, yes, with the whole family, hell yeah! Around her, the shapes of people slowly appeared, and they also rose to their feet. One after another, a whole crowd of them. They were Angie's family, her relatives, everyone from Rokenjima. That wasn't all. Everyone from the Golden Land, all the fantasy creatures appeared, and following Angie's lead, they rose to their feet. Then all of them glared at Bernkastel.
世界中が否定しても私は捨てたりしない。絶対にみんな生きてるって希望を。そして私は至ったわ。それが私の魔女としての境地よ。
I am the witch of denial, of truth.
こいつただの未来の魔女じゃないの。過去には後悔の涙を流すことしかできない無力な魔女じゃないの。私は黄金の魔女エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。称号は黄金と無限半言。
Witch of Resurrection, nice. That is a very cool title.
エンジェ。ありがとうお姉ちゃん。長き日々の果てに私はようやく至ったわ。
お前なら至れると信じてたぜ。
ありがとうお兄ちゃん。受け取ったわ。お兄ちゃんが最後のゲームで伝えたかったこと。消え去れゲロカス妄想。そんなの認めるわけねえだろ。みんなは永遠に私と共にあるわ。誰が赤き真実見て何度殺そうとも私はそれを拒否する。私のもとに何度でもみんなは蘇る。私は半言の魔女エンジェ。私の世界はお前の赤き真実では傷一つつけられない。
I just love I love frustrated Bernkastel. It's so great. Nice. She finally gets one. Let's see. Transform, Angie. I mean, we've already seen her witch form, but still. I don't think we've seen a CG of it. Please. From Angie. No, from Angie and her family and her friends. Several golden streaks shot out at once. They were the same as the marks left by Bernkastel's great snakes. However, the glow inside these was gold. Then they wriggled, combined into one single mass, and transformed into an eagle with 2 wings. Of course, her animal is an eagle. And love it, 2-winged, not a 1-winged. It wasn't 1-winged anymore, thanks to Angie's absolute willpower. It looks like a phoenix, which a phoenix isn't, like, their whole thing is about resurrection. So, fitting. The golden eagle had gained the wing it needed to fly into the future. Those spread wings made Bernkastel and the whale shrink back. Rising from the ashes, yeah. The golden eagle easily swallowed the blue whale with its wings, grinding it to bits. And it didn't let the whale's master escape either. It was now Bernkastel's turn to run. Bernkastel didn't fight the golden eagle. She couldn't. In this world of Angie's, where even the red truth couldn't hurt anyone, just what sort of attack could have any effect? She frantically ran this way and that, throwing one wedge of red truth after another at the Ushiromiya family. Ushiromiya Kinzo is dead. Ushiromiya Kraus is dead. Ushiromiya Natsui is dead. She repeated this over and over, but no one fell. Angie wouldn't accept it, so they couldn't pierce anyone.
Bernkastel. これが本当のチェックメイトだ。
この私が認めない認めない。
The massive golden eagle finally swallowed Bernkastel whole. It then slammed into the vast ceiling, and there was an incredible explosion accompanied by an earthquake. From the cracked ceiling, along with many falling chips, a single black cat plummeted and slammed against the floor. Erica ran up to it, repeatedly calling out to her master, hugging it. Then she realized it was still breathing, and simultaneous expressions of relief and shock rose to her face.
私の真実に傷一つ許さないように、あんたたちの真実にだって私は傷一つつけないわ。
ボロ雑巾になってるぜ。
お給くらいはサービスということにしておけ。レアとあんた、あんまりお兄ちゃんと慣れ慣れしくしないで。私はあんたたちの関係を認めたわけじゃないんだからね。愚か者め。 わらわをよくも生き返らせよって。もうダメであるぞ。わらわとその愉快な眷属は生涯そなたを苛むであろうぞ。そしてわらわとバトラのイチャイチャぶりを見せつけてやるのだ。あら、意外と便利ね。暗言の魔法ってオンオフ自由自在なのね。
Vanzo kept appearing and disappearing like a light bulb turning on and off. Oh, that's hilarious. I like that we had, you know, all that despair and then, like, now it's light again. Of course we knew it was gonna, like, have a happy ending, or at least a bittersweet ending, where Angie finally accepts. Well, she doesn't just accept, she accepts that her family is, in a way, gone, but she's going to keep their memory alive. Angie seemed to be enjoying herself.
バトラーエンジがいじめるよ
エンジェ、そのくらいで許してやれ。
いいわ、お兄ちゃんが言うなら許してあげる。エンジすごいよ、ウリュー。エンジ様、反言の魔女おめでとうございます。これで私たちずっといつまでも一緒なんですね。ええ、そうよ。みんな半魔法の毒素なんて関係ない。いつまでも永遠に私と一緒よ。
偉いぞ、エンジェ。よく言った。
Everyone surged forward, squishing Angie. They tried tossing her into the air, but dropped her onto her butt, and everyone laughed. Angie looked a bit resentful, but when her brother lent her a hand, she got up and joined the circle of smiles. Quiet applause greeted them. Featherin, their witness, had acknowledged their victory and was clapping for them. Oh, this feels like the end. This feels like the end of the chapter, because usually there's the big fight, and whenever this music happens, it usually means like, all right, it's coming to a close. But you know, there's all the stuff about like what's happening in the real world with the diary. If Angie's alive in that timeline, has she stopped it, or is she just like the whole thing? Like she knows the truth, but she's going to replace it with her own truth.
今日の称号を許す。そなたの紡し物語はなかなかに愉快であった。そう身構えずともよい。私はそなたを祝福しているのだから。
Featherin smiled serenely. Then the cat overlords broke their positions in their constellation and lined up behind her. It was clear that this was not only a peaceful action, but part of a solemn ceremony.
我が巫女は打ち破られた。そしてその命を奪わなかったことに感謝する。見ての通り、あれは私を退屈させぬための可愛い飼い猫。あれが死んでしまっては私も退屈するのでな。
The true strength of this being, who referred to Bernkastel as a pet cat, had already been made clear during her fight with Lambda Delta. Even so, Angie spoke. I don't suppose Angie would be able to resurrect her, too. Yeah, right? Exactly. Like, bring her back, then.
そなたが望めばいくらでも蘇らせられるではないか。え、蘇らせられるの？大丈夫だぞ。ラムダデルタ教はそなたの力でどこかで生き返っている。安心せよ。すでに私の用意した感激石に移られている。安心せよ。手厚くもてなしている。本当に？ならよかった。
Angie finally relaxed and let the tension leave her whole body.
さて、バトラよ。これでそなたの最後のゲームのゲームマスターはそなた一人になった。
I guess we have to eventually get to those doors, but I mean, I think we know what Angie's gonna pick.
そうだな。あんたんとこの猫はこれでリタイアだろうな。
そなたのゲームの最後の儀式を済ませるべきではないか。我が巫女は猫のように忘れっぽいが、時に猫のように執念深い。今のうちに儀式を済ませた方が良いと思うのだが。あ
あ、じゃあお言葉に甘えて。
私は立ち会い人となり、その顛末を記すことにしよう。最後の儀式、このゲームもいよいよ終わりなのね。
Well, it has to, right? It's crazy. I can't believe. I mean, I knew it was coming up soon, but it's just wild to think that it's almost done. Badler nodded silently. Then he stepped out of the crowd and motioned for Angie to follow him. As Angie passed by each member of the Ushirimiya family, they cheered her on, giving words of encouragement. Badler took out the golden key and handed it to Angie. It now had the same glint it had possessed when he had first given it to her. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. There's the doors. I want to... Hopefully they'll let me have the choice, and then I just immediately go for the wrong one. But I was like, what are you doing? We had this whole moment. Then two doors appeared out of thin air on either side of him. They had a stately design, making it clear this was a very important decision.
ノーヒントでどちらかを選べと？
とんでもない。ヒントは出すさ。今から簡単な問題を出す。二択の簡単な問題だ。そして、その答えを、エンジはどちらかの扉を開くことで選ぶんだ。
なるほどね。オーケー。ハロウィンパーティーの続きってことだわ。あのパーティー、私、寝落ちしちゃったのよね。だから、ちゃんと締めくくることができて嬉しいわ。
ベアト、前へ。
そなたはわらわの問題を解く前に眠ってしまったからな。出題できて嬉しいぞ。
参ったわね。相当難しそうだわ。
うりゅう、大丈夫。エンジェなら大丈夫。どうかな。
覚悟せよ。難しいぞ。
落ち着け。エンジェ、簡単な問題だ。一番いい選択肢を選ぶにはどうすればいいか。
バトラよ。ヒントが過ぎるぞ。未来の魔女、エンジェ教の凱旋である。そなたは見送るだけにとどめよ。
だな。じゃあ、ここからはベアトに譲る。頼むぜ。
うん。では行くぞ。
Angie gulped, then stared up at the witch's face. The witch held out her left hand, bringing it close to Angie's face. Then she slowly spread her fingers.
わらわの手のひらをよく見るがよい。種も仕掛けもないな。
ええ、何もないわ。
よく見ておれ。こうして握る。そして、人差し指を立てる。
She stretched out her index finger and held it right in front of Angie's eyes.
人差し指の先をよーく見ておれ。行くぞ。早いぞ。
The witch rapidly lifted her index finger high into the air, pointing at the heavens. Just as Angie looked up to see the finger raised high, it swung down as though trying to dodge her gaze. In that manner, the finger swung up, down, left, right, then left again. Is this like some sort of like Konami code? What do I have to do here? Left, right, then left again, as though Angie was playing a game of Achi Muiti Hoi. I don't know what that is. Feeling as though she'd lose if she couldn't keep up with the fingertip, Angie swung her face this way and that, looking serious. The witch's hand moved faster and faster. Angie didn't lose track of it. Then the witch's high-pointing finger took a sudden swing downwards, and when it stopped, her index finger was curled up and her hand was held in a simple fist.
よいか、手を開くぞ。
Witch slowly opened her right fist. And there was a cutely wrapped candy. I should have seen that coming,
よ
right?
いか。ええ、これは、手
Oh,
品か魔法か。
easy.
それが、わらわから与える問題である。
さあ、エンジェ、
All right, we're gonna save. We're gonna save. Time to disappoint Battler.
答えてくれ。これは、手品か。
I know what the answer is.
答えが魔法ならそっち。
Oh man, with everything that's happened, it feels wrong to like, everything the game has told me and Battler has told me, it feels wrong to go against what he wants me to pick.
手品なら、そっちの扉を開けるんだ。
I already decided my answer. Okay, yes. I was like, please let me pick. It was a trick. I learned nothing from this whole game. Trick.
これが、私の答えよ。
I walked over to the door that represented the answer I'd chosen. Then I put the golden key into the keyhole and turned to face everyone.
後ろ宮のわしは振り返るな。
そうね、ごめん。
I gripped the key tightly and twisted. Then the key in the door flashed brilliantly and slowly faded away. Beyond the door was a strangely colored space. If I step into this, I'll reach the future I chose. Before taking that single step, I spoke without turning back.
後ろ宮のわしは振り返らない。だから、
It's funny. They never turned back, and yet I saved beforehand so I can change my answer.
みんな、ありがとう。でも、さよならじゃない。私はいつまでもみんなと一緒。
ああ、お前は振り返らない。だけど俺たちはいつだって。
そんなのじゃない。私、それでも信じてるから、絶対にみんなが帰ってきて全員揃うって信じてるから。
エンジ。
それでよい、エンジ。再びそなたのもとに我ら一同が揃う日が来るのを楽しみにしておるぞ。
エンジよ、我が可愛い孫よ。しばしの別れだ。ほれ、これを忘れるでないぞ。あのクイズパーティーの景品であるぞ。
Oh, that's right. A gold butterfly flew over my shoulder, landed on my palm, and turned into a pocket watch bearing the family crest.
ソファーの上で目覚めたとき、これが転がってたっけ？
Maybe I accidentally chose the right answer? I feel like you were supposed to pick magic rather than it being a trick, because that was the whole thing, is like, you're supposed to believe in the magic, the anti-magic toxin and all that, and her being a witch, but it almost seems like this is the happy ending. I don't know.
これって景品だったのね。
未来へ持ち帰って大切にしろい。
ありがとう、みんな。
I took a step forward into the future. Alright, so we get to see what actually happens to her. I won't say goodbye. So, see you later. We'll always be together. A strong wind blew through my hair. Oh, this is her going to Rokenjima. My nose was filled with the smell of the sea. I wonder if she will have the pocket watch with her. I must have been standing still for a very long time. Is this a point cutting through the sea? I was standing on the bow of a boat. I was still holding that thing. I did not miss the bobbing screen, though. I hate that.
じゃあ、ここは？
Captain Kawabata's face peered out at her.
見えてきたぞ。あそこがかつての後ろ宮家の船着き場だ。
跡形も残ってませんぜ。
そういうこと。ここに戻ってきたのね。随分と長い白昼夢。いえ、遠大な寄り道だったこと。
No matter what sort of tales are woven and written about the past, they have nothing to do with my tale of the future. I swore to live looking only to the future without turning back. That vow I made to myself has any meaning, then this hasn't all been just a daydream. And besides, I've brought many things back with me from that long side trip. Among those, there are even some things that are immediately useful.
さすがにこれは役に立たないわね。
She does have it. Okay. I threw the pocket watch bearing the family crest into the ocean. Why would you do that? What? So much for that, like, treasure that forever. Yeet. Bye. Why would you do that?
古い蔵を。
Fair enough, fair enough. She's looking to the future. Okay.
懐かしき六軒島を前に心機一転ってわけですかい?
Just feel bad for Kenzo. Put a lot of thought into giving her that, and then she just threw it away.
違うわ。後ろ宮エンジェっていう 人間をやめたってことよ。
I won't waste that long journey. I now have a new way to live. And that isn't as the human called Ushiramiya Angie. I am reborn.
船長、悪いけど、ちょっと席を外してもらえるかしら。
ああ、すまん。構わんよ。
Captain Kawabata buried his face into the driver's seat.
なんです、お嬢。気難しい顔して。
私、新しい人生をこれから踏み出そうと思うの。
すでに踏み出してますぜ。
そうね。後宮家のめんどくさいのをすべて売り払って、どこかに寄付でもしたら、きれいさっぱり清々するわ。それで私は、後宮エンジェという殻を全部脱ぎ去れる。
莫大な金が思いのままってのに、もったいねえことです。
いいじゃない。私がいらないって言ってるんだから。
そりゃそうですがね。ただ、お嬢が売っ払うのは、お嬢だけのものじゃないものもありますぜ。例えば、
後宮グループの株式とか？
そうです。お嬢にとってはただの紙切れでしょうが、でっかい会社の命運を揺さぶりか
I
ねない
feel like he's gonna
高貴です
do
ね。
something. He's like, you're talking weird. You are a liability. I don't know. I'm getting weird vibes right now from Amakusa. Is he just gonna like, what are you gonna do to me, buddy?
んなことされたらうちのボス
Oh
も
shit.
変わらんでしょ
Plus, there was that weird conversation that Amakusa was having with, I can't remember his name, at the end of one of the chapters. I don't think it was the last one. Maybe it was the one before. But that made me be like, oh, what's going on here?
ええ、知ってるわ。スマデラ家もそう。
Okanagi, that's it.
私に自由気ままでいられちゃ困る連中が。
Right? Maybe. She's acting crazy right now. They're like, she's unpredictable.
エンジェさんはまごうことなき VIP です。派手なことは慎んで、ここはおとなしく隠れてる方がいいかと思うんですがね。
その VIP エンジェを好き放題にさせない。一番手っ取り早い方法って何かしら？
Murder?
さて、どんな方法がありますやら。まあ、酒でも飲んで腹を割って。
私の旅の最終目的地
Oh
は
no.
六軒島であることは
I'm getting bad feeling about this.
そして六軒島は今や完全な
Oh, she's catching on. She's like, you could do something to me out there. And you could say whatever you want. I fell off a cliff or something. I'm dead. And now you know, Okanagi and the Sumaderas have a stock to themselves.
誰も存在しない。誰にも見られず。
Oh, shit.
今日は最高の密室日。
Oh, this is scary for her to be like, I'm out here with like basically this hitman. And I'm just a teenage girl. I can't do anything if he wants to kill me. What about the sea captain though? Is he in on it too?
そりゃまあ確か
I doubt it, but who knows?
スマデラ家が私を追っているわ。小此木社長のところにもタイミングよく押しかけてきた。
Oh shit. Was this a setup? Did they know from the beginning, Okanagi and Amakusa? I mean, we do know that the Sumaderas do show up at the island in one of the chapters, so...
私があそこにいた情報は売られているのよ。
うちのボスが
Oh shit.
なのにボディーガードをつけますかい？
Keep an eye on her, right?
私がどんな気まぐれを起こすかわからない以上、小此木社長は私とスマデラ家の双方に貸しを作りたい。だったら私の情報を売りつつ、紙一重で私を逃がし。
Yeah, this is feeling more and more like the potential bad end. I mean,
勝負カードを手中にしたまま、
and she apparently
私にも
does die in
スマデラ家に本が売れ
1998,
るわ。
right? So maybe this is how.
そりゃ考えすぎですぜ。
Amakusa wore a forced smile, trying to smooth things over.
スマデラ家は確実に私を追っているわ。
I was gonna say Angie got shot. Right? So maybe because the whole thing like the anti-magic toxin, because I believed it was a trick and apparently I don't believe in magic, maybe that's she actually did get killed in this timeline by I can't remember what Kasumi, was that her name? Or like she actually died at Rokenjima.
私の行動は
And maybe Angie will be like, well, I died in Rokonjima along with my, where my family died. I can be with them now. Oh, shit. She's polling. She's polling from, like, the previous fragments. She knows what's gonna happen. Yes. I mean, I'm not saying yes happily. Like, that's shit. I mean, but, like, the fact that... Oh, man.
あんたはスマデラ家のヒットマンを返り討ちにして、おこのぎ社長はスマデラ家に対し交渉のカードを得る。私が死ねば、後ろ宮グループは当面安泰。その上、スマデラ家には釘も刺せる。さらに言えば、スマデラ家も持て余し気味の過激派の急先鋒。
Now, Angie can jump off of buildings. I don't know if she could jump off a boat and just swim away and be like, bye.
Phew, なかなか面白いシナリオですぜ。
あんたの持ち込んだあのゴルフバッグ、中身を改めさせてもらったわ。すごいわね。戦争でも始めそうなすごい銃ばかり。でも、あれは狙撃銃。
Okay, yeah. Right? Oh, shit.
何が起こるかわかりませんもので。
常に軽装であることが望まれるボディーガードが、その役割を一日放棄してまで、六軒島に渡る直前に調達する必要のある銃。
You know what? When you think about it, that is an interesting point.
お嬢、考えすぎですぜ。
私が六軒島に着いたら、一人でゆっくり墓参りをするといい。
Oh, that's right. He was the one who suggested that. I thought Angie was the one who wanted to be by herself.
それは餌。すでに六軒島で待ち構えているスマデラかすみたちを釣り上げる餌。
So is Angie going to use this information to try and change what's going to happen? Or is she just going to accept... Like, did she go into this knowing what's going to happen, but she wants to die, which goes against everything that she just said to her family about how she was going to keep on living for their sake?
あとは、あんたがあのバカでかい銃で一網打尽にしておしまいよ。
一網打尽、ちゃんと護衛になってますぜ。
ゴルフバッグには最新式の狙撃銃の他にドイツ製の新型短機関銃も入っていた。
便利ですぜ。スマデラ家が何人来ようが一網打尽です。
もう一丁あった。それは拳銃。狙撃銃も短機関銃も最新式の素晴らしいものなのに、その拳銃だけは嫌に古ぼけていて旧式だった。これよ。
Oh! Ooh, okay. Didn't see that coming. Angie pulled the handgun out and pointed it at Amakusa. Angie! Is she actually gonna do it? I don't know. I think she might end up dying here. Bad end. So maybe she's gonna kill Amakusa here, change the past, and then, like, tell the captain. This is why she told him, like, hey, leave us alone for a second. And then she'd be like, hey, you didn't see anything.
なのになぜさらにもう一丁があって、それもこんな不釣り合いな古い銃がわざわざ用意されているの？それを説明する推理があるわ。それはスマデラかすみたちが用意している銃と同じだからということよ。
Wait a minute, hold on.
この銃はトカレフ。旧ソ連製の軍用拳銃で。
Wait. So the reason that he would have the same gun as they would have is was he the one who was gonna, like, shoot Angie and play it off like it was, you know, the bullet came from one of the Sumadera's guns, and then they'd be like, it was them that killed her.
スマデラ家が用意する武器として極めて妥当。それにスマデラかすみが死んでくれることはスマデラ家にとっても都合がいい。スマデラ家側も情報のリーク。いえ、
Oh.
バーターに応じていると考える。
Okay.
よってスマデラ家のヒットマンが調達した銃がトカレフであることは事前にわかることが可能なのよ。
Amakusa was speechless. Was he speechless because it was true, or because he was stunned by the determination with which Angie pointed that gun at
あ
him?
んたの いえ、あんたたちの企みは私を餌にスマデラかすみを無人島におびき寄せ、双方が相打ちで倒れたように細工すること。それでおこのぎ社長もスマデラ家も全てが丸く収まる。
Single line of cold sweat dripped down Amakusa's forehead. With the wind whipping through her hair, Angie spoke coldly.
ただこの拳銃があるだけで後ろ宮エンジェにはこの程度の推理が可能。
Amazing.
いかがかしら皆様方。
Now we gotta be careful though. He is still a hitman. He could easily take that gun from her in a second. Oh shit. He dead.
知ってるわよ。
Oh.
トカレフに安全装置がないこと。
Oh, okay. Oh. 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 Okay. Oh man. Did not see that coming. I thought that like he was gonna take the gun from her at the last minute and kill her, but she did it. Oh my god, Angie. Amakusa tried to dive behind cover, but he couldn't outrun a bullet. It shot into his gut, making him double over in pain. Knowing he had a gun hidden in his pocket, Angie nipped any possibility of a counterattack in the bud. I'm okay with this ending. I'm not... I thought this was going to end much more badly for Angie. I thought she was basically marching herself to her death. Blood spurted from Amakusa's forehead. He did not close his eyes again. Damn, girl! Oh, she's such a badass. I don't know if Badler and the family would be too happy with Angie being a murderer, but... Oh, don't hurt the captain. Don't... I mean, he's gonna have to take her back. But she's gonna be like, shh, I'll give you money. Kawabata showed up, all color drained from his face after noticing the gruesome scene on the deck. I thought for a second he might be in on it, but... I was just like, nah, I don't think so. This time... Oh, it was his forehead at which Angie pointed the barrel of the gun. Oh, no, Oh, he was in on it. Oh, shit. He played me. I was like, oh, he seems like a nice guy. I should know better. I should know better. I was just like, oh, he was just a patsy in this. He didn't know what was happening.
スマデラかすみが六軒島で待ち伏せするための時間稼ぎだと断言できる。
It would be sad if he actually just needed time to get the boat ready and he was actually innocent in this, but Angie just isn't gonna listen.
知らんぞ。何のことかわからん。
あなたという猫箱の中に買収されて裏切ったあなたと裏切ってないあなたの二人が共存しているわ。その片方の裏切ったあなたを殺す方法は？
よせ。嘘だ。
Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know. At first with Amakusa I was like, yeah, but now I'm like, oh no, I have turned her into just a unrepentant killing machine. Oh my goodness. Is she just gonna go to Rokonjima and just kill all the Sumaderas herself? Like, damn, she's on a roll. The boat's owner slumped over backwards and fell, and unfortunately the cat box is closed. We will never know if he was in on it or not. If she just killed an innocent person. Then again, I mean, for all we know, Amakusa, her plan, it seems very likely, and it seems very cohesive. But we also don't know for sure. Amakusa never confirmed it. So, with a second bullet, Angie performed a perfect examination. Damn. She had survived. She had now surely escaped the expertly woven plot to kill her. Well, for now, they're just going to be continuing to be after her. It's not over. Angie returned to the bow of the boat, faced the strong winds head-on, and peered into the future in front of her. The boat whose owner was gone headed towards the endless horizon, on and on in a straight line. So she's just booking it. Just like, I'm off to the Bahamas now. She prayed the truth she truly desired to reach lay before her. Then she heard the sound of clapping. Sound of clapping on a boat where Amakusa and the captain were no more. However, Angie didn't look surprised. She calmly and slowly turned around. Ha 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 ha.
お見事な推理でした。
Of course, she parroted Erica. Damn it, we took the Erica side. Of course we did, right? Because she said it was a trick. That's what Erica would say.
真実の魔女の同志エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。あら、いたのエリカ。真実を暴く者がいるならば私はどこにでもいます。ねえエリカ、なんです？
The boat had already passed by Rokkenjima. The island silhouette was now off in the distance. The boat headed towards the endless horizon, continuing on its endless journey. The new Witch of Truth announced the beginning of this endless journey to her fellow witch.
私は私なりの方法で未来を切り開くわ。素晴らしいことです。その果てに私がつかめる真実はあるのかしら。あなたが求める真実って今さら何だって言うんです？その通りだわ。真実なんて何の価値もないって私は知ったわ。そしてもう一つ分かったことがある。何でしょう？天草のカンパされて戸惑った時のあの表情、悪くなかったわ。
Yeah, she's like, okay, it's a little addicting. I know what you mean now. Oh. All right, well, I know that was the bad ending, but still, I'm glad I saw it. That's what I do. I have to watch... I gotta watch all the endings. Especially when I've never really had a chance to do this in Umineko before, so of course I'm gonna take it. But it's just going to be... It's just gonna make the quote-unquote... What we'll say the good ending, the true ending, the magic ending, is just gonna probably hit that much harder. But, I mean, I knew it was coming to an end, but this right here just is like, oh shit, once this is done, that's it. Well, there's probably gonna be like a tea party and stuff, but that will be the end of Umineko. Knew it was happening soon, but it's still a bummer.
答えが手品なら
Alright, now let's go with the right, quote-unquote, the right answer.
これが私の答えよ。
I walked over to the door that represented the answer I'd chosen. And I put the golden key into the keyhole and turned to face everyone. I wonder if it's going to be the exact same thing up until we actually open the door. Looks like it. Yeah. I mean, good on Battler for, I guess, hiding his probably disappointment when I picked the trick one. Being like, oh man, all that for nothing. I gripped the key tightly and twisted. And the key and door flashed brilliantly and slowly faded away. Beyond the door was a strangely colored space. If I step into this, I'll reach the future I chose. Or taking that single step, I spoke without turning back.
後ろ宮のわしは振り返らない。だから振り返らないけれど言うね。みんなありがとう。でもさよならじゃない。私はいつまでもみんなと一緒。
ああ、お前は振り返らない。だけど俺たちはいつだって。
そんなのじゃない。私それでも信じてるから、絶対にみんなが帰ってきて全員揃うって信じてるから。
エンジ。
それでよい、エンジ。再びそなたのもとに我ら一同が揃う日が来るのを楽しみにしておるぞ。
エンジよ、我が可愛い孫よ。しばしの別れだ。ほれ、 これを忘れるでないぞ。あのクイズパーティーの景品であるぞ。
Hopefully she'll hold on to it this time and not immediately toss it away. The gold butterfly flew over my shoulder, landed on my palm, and turned into a pocket watch bearing the family crest. Been funny if because I guess depending on how good or bad you do at the quizzes, you get different items. So I'm wondering if I got no answers right, what my prize would have been, and kids would have been like, "This is a reminder about how terrible my granddaughter is at riddles." That's just even funnier in retrospect, where she's like, treasure it, and then when I picked the other ending, just immediately threw it into the ocean. I took a step forward into the future. I'm so excited to see what this future is going to be. I won't say goodbye, so see you later. We'll always be together. The wind brushed against my cheek. I slowly opened my shut eyes. Am I still on the way to Rokenjima? Oh, no. Okay. Good. I might have had my eyes closed for a very long time. Even the sparkles below me seemed blindingly bright, so she decides not to die in 1998. It was a strange world with a sea of light beneath me. The wind was cold. However, it told me I had returned to reality. I was standing with one foot outstretched over the sea of light below me. How long have I been here? Since the moment I was lured by Bernkastel, just about to take a step off the edge. Time had probably been stopped for me. I slowly pulled my foot back in. Then I leaned against the fence and sat down. The sky was far away, but so was the ground. This whole time I've been in this sad place, so far from both of those worlds. I can't go to the sky. In that case, I have to return to my world.
そしてそれはエレベーターがいいわね。スカイダイブはもうたくさん。さすがにもうないわよね。ここから飛び降りて無事なんて奇跡は。
After all, some witch of miracles has already guaranteed a miracle like that definitely isn't happening. Then I finally noticed them. The guards that President Okanogi had assigned to me. See, this is tricky because, it's still probably going to be true that Okanogi is probably planning on having Angie killed because she's a problem. They were approaching the fence with forced smiles and sweat dripping down their faces, trying not to startle me. That's right. I got away from these guys before jumping off, didn't I?
飛び降りると思った？
それはもう
ごめんね。私が飛び降りたらあんたたち大目玉もらっちゃうものね。おこのぎさんに。
エンジェさん、そこは危険です。とにかくこちらへお戻りください。
I can see from their point of view, it's like she does seem like kind of a emotionally unstable teenage girl who's kind of got all the power in her hands. So Okanagi's like, yeah, she's a problem.
もうちょっとだけいさせて。大丈夫よ。変な気はもう起こさないから。
Have you guys ever felt, apparently it's a phenomenon, it's called the call to the abyss or call from the abyss or something, where it's just like if you're on a high, you're like looking down from a high area, you just get that thought of like, jump. You don't do it. You don't want to do it, but it's just like this weird intrusive thought. Apparently it's an actual thing a lot of people feel. I certainly have felt that.
あなたたち携帯は持ってる？
あります。
おこのぎさんと話したいことがあるの。
No, maybe she's going to tell him, like, I know what you're planning.
電話してもらってもいい？
Or maybe she's going to be like, I'll give all of the... I wonder if she can give all of the power to him, because she talks about how she doesn't want the wealth and stuff anymore, but I don't know if she can just hand it all over to him. The guards looked at one another, then rushed to take out their cell phones. They looked like they didn't want to put me in a bad mood in case I jumped off and left them to take the blame.
社長が出ました。どうぞ。
ありがとう。もしもし、おこのぎさん？ええ、急にごめんなさい。いいえ、素敵な話よ。ちょっと早いクリスマスプレゼント。後ろ宮グループ。
Yeah, there we go. She just wants to be like, I want to be free of this, live my own life.
そう。その代わり、お願いがいくつかあるの。
As she gazed down at the sea of stars spread out on the ground below her, Angie spoke. She spoke of how she would live from now on. Ushiramiya Angie's strange and mysterious adventure ends here, but my life will continue. After all, I now have a job to do. I am Angie Beatrice, witch of Mariage Sociale.
後ろ宮エンジェはさっき、
Ah, that's the whole thing about Angie. Ushiramiya Angie died in 1998, but Angie Beatrice. Ah, there's that play on words. Do you think I would have caught that earlier, right? Especially all the talk about, I think I've even mentioned it before about like maybe that's why it says like Angie dies in 1998 and yet she still lives. Derp.
ここにいる私は魔女のエンジェ、生きるわ。魔女として。
We'd better get more than this. I want more than just the tea party and the question mark thing. I want more of this. It's probably going to end here, isn't it? Give me more. I want more. There's so many things that still need to be answered. Ah, here we go.
これにてそなたのゲームは終了だ。
As Angie opened the door and vanished from sight, the residents of the Golden Land disappeared as well. Oh, maybe this is the end, at least of this part. Afterwards, only Badler could be seen. He had now finished doing everything he could for Angie.
扉を閉めよ。確かその扉を閉めるには作法があったな。
そうよ。二人じゃなきゃ閉められないというルールよ。
よー、エヴァおばさん。
だからおばさんって呼ばないで。
The two of them stood to the left and right of the door that Angie had vanished through.
エンジェ、あなたの未来に幸あれ。
俺たちは必ず一緒になれるからな。
Then the two of them held their hands out in front of them. As they did, a door popped into existence and closed. Then the door itself faded away.
これで私たちの役目も終わりね。
ああ、これで駒の役目を終了だ。
ご苦労であった二人とも。それではこれにてそなたらのゲーム版を片付ける。
Slowly, the world began to crumble. At a glance, it looked as though the city of books was starting to fall apart. But that wasn't it. Badler and Ava's world was being cut off from the city of books. The world broke apart bit by bit, and the ceiling would probably fall in soon.
お別れね、バトラ君。
ああ、またな。そして必ずエンジを頼むぜ、エヴァおばさん。
最後くらいエヴァお姉さんって言ってみなさいよ。
またな、エリカ。いつかどこかで。
私もエンジェも同じ真実の魔女
Don't worry, Erica. We got to see your ending, and it was pretty awesome in its own way.
なのに私と彼女の何が違ったのでしょ
う。なんだろうな。
私は真実に耐える魔女でした。でもその真実に背を向けました。しかし彼女は真実を知った上で
なおも彼女の真実を信じる魔女でした。もし彼女の方が真実の魔女にふさわしいなら、私は何の魔女だったのかわかりません。
そうだな。お前は魔女じゃない。だってお前は探偵だろ。
ぐっと忘れてました。
またいつかどこかでな。事件あるとこ探偵ありなんだろ。
ええ、後ろ宮家に再び事件あるとき必ず現れることを約束しましょう。
Oh, that'd be awesome if there was like a spin-off. If, I mean, it'd be kind of tough with the Ushiromiya family considering most of them are dead. But maybe, something could happen. Like, I know that there's like Higurashi spin-off things, arcs and stuff like that. If there could be maybe something with Angie in the future where like Erica somehow shows up and it's like a crossover and she has to help solve the crime.
あばよ、名探偵。
さようなら、我が公敵種。あなたと再び刃を交えられる日を楽しみにしています。
Those were the final words the two spoke to each other. A mighty roar and a cloud of dust blew by, covering everything. And then everything vanished. Nothing remained. Badler and Ava were both gone. City of Books was shrouded in silence.
すべて終わったな。
はい、ダイアウローラ卿。
そなたは我が飼い猫を頼む。では私も行こう。こちらの世界でも片付けねばならぬのでな。
Good. We get to see good. We get to see. This is what I want to see is like what is happening in the real world with Ava's diary. When Hachiko made her announcement, everyone fell silent, thinking they'd misheard her. Before too long, the crowd exploded with a shower of questions about what she meant by this. Is she just not... She's gonna not reveal it? Yeah.
ここまで引っ張っといてそれはない。八条先生、私たちはそれを見たくてはるばる集まってきたのですよ。今さらそれはあんまりではありませんか。
繰り返します。気が変わりました。後ろ宮エヴァの日記は非公開とさせていただきます。
詐欺だ。そんなの詐欺だ。それは本当に後ろ宮エヴァの日記なんですか。あんたの捏造じゃないんですか。
She's like, yeah, believe that, whatever.
こんなふざけたことが許されるのか。その本を公開しろ。
醜きかな人の子よ。そなたらにも、そしてこの私にも、この中身を見る資格などありはしない。しかし思えば、これもなかなか愉快な催しであった。死者の眠りを暴き、好き勝手に噂を吹聴する人のこの面白き一面を見ることができた。行くぞ、ベル。今宵の魚にはこれで十分であろう。
Black Cat jumped onto Hachiko's shoulder, and she disappeared off to the side of the stage, the book of the single truth in her arms. I hope she's got some good security, because I could just imagine people just, like, rushing her. Only the angry yells of the massive crowd remained. And so, the people gradually lost interest in Ushiromiya Ava's diary, some even doubting whether it ever existed at all. Though the weekly magazines were in an uproar over Hachiko Toya's apparently fraudulent claims, there were some who began to voice an opinion that the Rokkenjima mystery itself was an indiscreet desecration of the dead. It wasn't likely that Rokkenjima could rest in peace just because of something like this. However, people became slightly more hesitant to show open interest in the Rokkenjima mystery in public. An unopened cat box is eternal, and so Rokkenjima will probably never find peace. However, even so, compared to how it was before, life will surely be easier, because as the years pass, dust will slowly pile up on where it lies in the depths of oblivion. At the bottom of the deep sea, known as the depths of oblivion, the witch's cat box will probably slowly get buried as the years pass. Featherin threw a single golden rose into that sea, an offering to let the cat box rest in peace. Let us mark the end of this long story with the tale of that golden rose. In the darkness, there was a massive roar and an earthquake. When it passed, dawn began to rise over the endless night. I hope we get to see Angie afterwards. Then there's the whole thing about Hachiko Ichiko or Ikiko as well. Like, there's still... Oh, the third day, October 6, 1986. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
ここは
Oh? What?
かつての潜水艦基地の廃墟だ。覚えてはおらぬのか。
What?
初めての場所だぜ。
わらわとそなたが2代前の前世で初めて出会った場所であるぞ。
そういう風に言われるとロマンチックだな。
Battler and Beato could be seen in the ruins of Rokenjima's underground submarine base. The cave's mouth opened to the sea, and the gentle sound of waves drifted in along with the cries of the seagulls. It seemed the typhoon which had closed off the island for 2 days had finally gotten bored and gone away. Beato went down to the shore and lifted up a large sheet. Beneath it was a motorboat. What? Of course, it wasn't from the time of the war. It was modern.
これを船に詰め。重いぞ。
わお、黄金のインゴットじゃねえかよ。全部埋もれちまったと思ってたぜ。
こんなこともあろうかと思ってな。一つくすねておいたのだ。
Single heavy gold ingot was dropped into the boat. Not sure how much this is worth by itself, but it must be quite a lot.
そなたはモーターボートの経験は？
あるわけないぜ。
簡単だ。教えてやる。
So, Badler did make it out somehow. Is this the actual? Wait, that's So in Ava's thing, because it was the Angie said like there was no chance of anybody coming back, but then we did have Hachigo found somebody that sounded like Badler. So maybe Ava just assumed that everybody died. They said that they couldn't find the bodies anymore, but I'm surprised that, like, you know, if the police came, they never found this underground bunker. There's a literal, like, you can see the gap in the rock wall. You think someone would have found it eventually. He wasn't used to this, but after several mistakes, Beato finally got the engine started.
そこを出て島伝いにぐるりと回ればそのうち新島が見える。あとは砂浜にでも乗り上げればよい。
お前は来ないのか？
わらわは行けぬ。わらわは黄金鏡の主よ。ここを出ては行けぬ。
残って何になる？
行って何になる？
生きよう。
生きれぬ。わらわはもう数えきれぬほどの世界で数えきれぬほどの罪を犯した。わらわが殺した命の数が罪の数が多すぎる。
俺たちの世界では何の罪も犯しちゃいないさ。
いいや、そんなことはないぞ。行け、わらわの機嫌が良いうちにな。さもなくば再び島を嵐に閉ざしてしまうぞ。
Badler suddenly spun around. When Beato turned around to see what was going on, her body was suddenly lifted into the earth. Get CG of their hug. Come on, let's see it, please. Please?
なら黄金鏡からの手土産にお前を持ち帰ることにするぜ。
話さぬか。危ないというのに。
ギャーギャー騒ぐな。よく聞け、ベアトリーチェ。
なんだ。
お前を。
Oh, this is like Kinzo and Beato. As Badler quietly gazed at her with serious eyes, Beato was lost for words.
お前に罪があるなら、 それを犯させた俺にも罪がある。だから、お前の十字架は、俺たち二人で背負おう。
バトラ。
生涯、お前の十字架を支えるから、出よう。黄金鏡。俺と二人で。
Beato was now too shocked to say anything at all. Then tears poured from her eyes and she covered her face with both hands. Badler gently set her down on the boat. He undid the mooring ropes. Now there was no longer anything tying this boat to the island. Controlling the boat as Beato had taught him, Badler slowly guided it out. When they passed out of the dimly lit cavern, they were immediately struck by the bright rays of sun and surrounded by a crowd of white seagulls. As the seagulls flew this way and that, the feathers they dropped into the water seemed to celebrate the boat's departure. The brilliant sunlight told them they were now free of the island's curse. The sky, now freed from the sea of the typhoon, seemed too bright to be real. Feeling hot, Badler took off his jacket. It was swept away by the wind and danced through the sky. However, instead of panicking, Badler just smiled as he watched it go. So if this is what actually happened, I guess they found maybe his jacket in the water and assumed that he just got blown up and they just couldn't find the body. Beato also watched it go. No, she watched the island go. Broken Jima, and the golden land she'd spent 1,000 years in. Oh, oh, so cute, so cute.
生きてけるさ。魔法の執事はいねえが、便利なものがいろいろあるさ。六軒島にはないものが何でもある。お前に世界を見せてやるぜ。
わらわは生きていけるだろうか。
Beato repeated the same words again. Badler knew what she meant. However, no matter what answer he gave, he wouldn't be able to resolve her problem now. However, there was a way to resolve it. Time and heart. Little by little, bit by bit, like a chain being cut by falling drops of water, he would have to sever the curse of the island gradually, over a long period of time. It might take a long, long time. However, someday, she will be free. That's what I believe.
わらわはあの島で幾百の死をもてあそんだ罪深き魔女だ。そのわらわにそなたの世界は眩しすぎる。
いや、生きろ。
I answered immediately and
も
forcefully.
しお前が幾百の罪を償おうと思うなら、生きて生き抜け。生の限りを尽くして、精一杯を生きろ。それだけがお前の罪を償う方法だ。
それだけがわらわの罪を償う方法なのか。
そうだ。そして絶対に償いきれる。俺を信じろ。
バトラ
潤んだ目で見るなよ。照れるだろ。
これはすまぬ。ならばその目を閉じてはくれぬか。
目を閉じろってなんだよ。お前顔近いよ。
バカな男め。黄金鏡より魔女を連れ出した呪いを受けるがいい。だから目を閉じろというのにわらはもうその恥ずかしい。
As soon as Badler shut his eyes, soft lips covered his, and they slowly drew back. He tried to open his eyes, but received a quick slap on the cheek.
見るな。わらわの顔を見るなというに。
いいじゃねえかよ。減るもんじゃねえだろ。
デリカシーのないやつめ。開けるな。まだ開けるな。なんでかってもう一度キスがしたいからだ。
The next kiss was on his earlobe.
バーがよせ。それはさすがに恥ずかしい。
He knew he'd get hit again if he opened his eyes, so he resisted with his eyes still shut. Beato tickled his ear by softly blowing on it, and then she spoke in her usual cheerful, bullying voice.
悪いな、バトラー。わらわは極悪非道の最悪魔女だぜ。
ああ、知ってるぜ。お前は最悪の残酷魔女だな。
だから罪など償わぬぞ。わらわは幾百の死をゲラゲラと笑い転げる、そういう魔女である。
こいつめ。でもその方がお前らしいぜ。
He accidentally opened his eyes. And when he did, the witch was nowhere to be seen. The golden witch had vanished like a dream or an illusion, and so had the single ingot they'd carried with them. I mean, that was sweet, but I knew, like, it wasn't possible. Deep down, I was just like, ah, like, Badler seemed to have made it out. Badler jumped straight into the ocean, and he made it in time. He made it in time to see the witch again. The witch looked at Badler, a faint smile on her lips. He couldn't hear words, and yet he heard clearly. But Badler desperately spoke back, but his words only floated out of his mouth as bubbles. He sank into the inky blackness. Badler chased her with all his strength, and then his hand reached her. I love it. I love we got the confirmation. Yes.
俺はお前を離さない。
気持ちは嬉しいぞ。だがわらわは幻想の住人。そしてそなたは人間。帰るべき世界が違うのだ。わらわは幻想へ帰る。そしてそなたも自分の世界へ帰るがいい。
All around them it was getting darker. The pressure increased. Their heads and ears began to throb. Badler's fingers slipped, and then at last their fingers separated. Once Badler rose towards the world of light, the witch sank toward the world of darkness. It goes so fast! Seeing Badler's body rise toward the shining surface, the witch relaxed. And that's where the golden rose comes from. When she saw Badler's body become a speck and disappear towards the world of light, the witch closed her eyes. Then she felt something. It was impossible, but Badler had already disappeared in the distance. But it was Badler. Badler had come after the witch. Oh.
お前は俺だけの黄金の魔女だ。
バカバトラ、バカバトラ。
お前が望む奈落になら、俺も一緒に落ちよう。そこが虚無の世界ならば、お前と一緒に消えよう。だが、消える最後の瞬間まで、お前は俺のものだ。
Two hugged each other tightly. Fate didn't try to tear them apart again. And so the two became one and sank into the abyss together.
そして何も見えない真っ暗な世界でぽっと輝きました。それは温かな黄金の輝き。それは黄金のバラでした。
それがふわりと純白の無垢な砂が敷き詰められた世界にたどり着きます。そこには白い砂に半分埋まった小さな箱が。
それは静かな海の底で安らかに眠るベアトリーチェの猫箱。その上にふわりと黄金のバラは舞い降りるのでした。
それは深い深い海の底のお話。真っ暗な真っ暗な暗闇の中にほのかに輝く黄金のバラが眠っているというとてもささやかな物語。
Oh, here we go. Here we go. That was awesome. That was awesome. But I'm like, I want to see present time. What has become of Angie? And if Badler has survived, will she be able... That better be how it ends, with somehow, like, Hachiko Ikiko found Angie, or Angie found, and they reunite again. A black luxury car was parked at the rear entrance of the skyscraper. Men wearing suits were packing a heavy-looking attaché case into its trunk.
あとは万事任せてくれ。面倒事は全部こっちで引き受ける。
よろしくね。エヴァおばさんが一番信頼していたあなたに任せられて、おばさんもきっと 喜んでると思うわ。
Out of the building came Angie and President Okanagi, and this is good because if he has all of the shares of it, then Angie's life will not be in danger anymore. Angie's expression was peaceful. It was hard to imagine this was the same person who had always looked so dark to Okanagi.
晩年の会長は少々病んでいた。エンジェちゃんに相当きつい言葉もかけたろうが、あれは本意じゃなかったはずなんだ。
わかるわ。私だって虫の居所の悪い日には言わなくていいことまで言っちゃうもの。
変わったな。
そう？
俺はエンジェちゃんは生涯会長を許さないって思ってたぜ。
教えてくれたでしょ、おこのぎさんが。
俺が？なんか言ったっけ？
愛がなければ真実は見えないって。
そんなキザなこと言ったっけ？
長い旅をしたわ、おこのぎさんのあの日の言葉を理解するためだけに。本当に長い旅をしたわ。
Of course, Okanagi understood. He understood she had taken a long and arduous journey through her own heart.
新居と口座を決めたら連絡してくれ。何も不自由はさせねえからな。
スマデラ家は問題ない？
全部任せてくれ。こっちにはエンジェちゃんの委任状って錦の御旗がある。おかげで後ろ宮グループは一枚岩だ。エンジェちゃんのおかげで会長の作った会社が守られた。会長もエンジェちゃんの決断を喜んでるはずだぜ。
面倒くさいことを全部押し付けたかっただけよ。
The Ushiramiya group was shaken by the passing of their great president, Ushiramiya Eva. Since there was no clear successor, the group had been in danger of splitting. Amidst this, Angie, who had inherited a large portion of the group's stock, was closely watched to see how she would act. So you can kind of see it from Okanagi's point. It's like he respected Eva. He probably saw Angie as like, yeah, she was just kind of like not taking things seriously, and they were at like the risk of collapsing. Still not an excuse to kill a young girl and other people, but I guess he saw to do what he had to do to protect the business. Still not cool, but I'm glad in this ending everything could end peacefully. However, since Angie showed no interest in any of this and had gone about talking about things like selling all their assets and donating everything to charity, the group had grown very shaky indeed. There was even a chance an outsider such as the Sumadera family would step in and destroy the Ushiramiya group. As disturbing as it may seem, it's a fact that some even wished for the center of all its trouble, Angie, to disappear. However, because Angie had a change of heart and decided to help do what was best for the Ushiramiya group that Eva had brought together, the worst-case scenario had been avoided. Okanagi had been named as Angie's successor. Now that he had Angie's trust, there was no more reliable ally to be had. Okanagi himself had certain plans he could carry out based on the knowledge that Angie trusted him. Okanagi, who had carried great responsibility in the Ushiramiya group thanks to his position as Ava's closest confidant, was the most natural choice to be Ava's successor, and thanks in part to his ability, everything had now been wrapped up smoothly. By now, the Ushiramiya group was the only thing other than Angie herself to hold the Ushiramiya name, so she might have thought of it as her last tie to her family.
いつでも帰ってきていいんだぜ。エンジェちゃんの椅子は用意してあるんだからな。
ありがとう。帰る場所があるってだけで安心して旅立てるわ。
これからは何をして過ごすんだ？
作家になるわ。
Oh, an author! That's, yeah. Very appropriate, right?
作家？小説の？
何でもいいの。小説でも絵本でも。
That was the whole thing, right, about her being the witch, is that she was going to write stories for children or something about, like, about witches.
私に絵心があるなら漫画でも。とにかく何でもいいの。誰かに心を 伝えられるなら。
Maybe that's how she came into contact with Hachi with Toya.
そりゃ高尚な仕事だな。成功することを祈ってるぜ。
ありがとう。
Oh my gosh, what if it ends with like either maybe she reaches out to Hachiko Toya since she had interest in like the Ushiramiyas, or maybe Hachiko Toya reaches out to her and then maybe that's where she meets Ikigo. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Is it Ichijo Ikigo? But whatever the thing for 18 is, which is Battler, right?
もし本が出せたら送るわ。
楽しみにしてるぜ。
The car's trunk was closed with a clunk. Apparently all her luggage had been loaded.
そうだ。運転手を紹介しておこう。俺の子飼いの男だ。信用できるし。
Oh no, is it?
何でも頼れるぞ。
It's the hitman guy, is it?
会長のところで長年護衛をしていたから、エンジェちゃんも面識があるかもな。
天草だけはごめんよ。
The man walking out of the driver's seat sneezed. Hilarious knowing what happens in... Oh, if only you knew, dude, how close you were to getting killed if Angie had picked a different choice.
そりゃねえですぜ、お嬢。
天草。おめえ何やらかしたんだ？
おばさんの護衛の中で一番軽薄そうだったからね。こいつだけはごめんよって思った。
でも、一番仲良くしてたろ？
まあ、おしゃべりだけは面白かったかも。
ボスからエンジェさんとの連絡役を仰せつかりました。何か面倒事がありましたらいつでも。
I see what happened. So when she was like... We saw her in her path to find the truth of what happened on Rokujima, when she was like not forgiving Ava, when she was kind of like in that mindset of just knowing the truth. But now that she's chosen the other way around, as soon as she decided not to step off that roof, that's when... So it's like the timeline has been kind of like changed now. So this is her first time coming into contact with Amakusa in a while. Whereas like we saw in the previous chapters, this was like her on her other pathway.
トイレットペーパー買ってきてとか言ってもいいの？
ついでに生理用品も買ってきますぜ。
ね、最悪の男でしょ。
Okanagi guffawed. I got into the back seat.
じゃあ、元気だな、エンジェちゃん。
その名で呼ばれるのもこれで最後ね。
新しい名前が決まったら教えてくれ。
Okanagi patted the roof of the car. At that signal, Amakusa honked the horn and removed the handbrake.
新しい名前が決まるまではお嬢でいいですかい？
当面はそれでいいわ。
さて、どこへ行きますかい？北へ？南へ？
おすすめはある？
本州を出るのはどうですかい？北海道なんておすすめですぜ。広い草原、でっかい雲。ログハウスで執筆する小説家なんて最高ですぜ。
Well, we know she wants to be a novelist. She's gonna come into contact with Toya, right?
じゃあ南にするわ。あんたが言ったのと逆の方にするって決めてた。
I like this Angie. I liked badass, like, kind of emo Angie. Maybe emo's not the right term for it, but like, just kind of give no fucks Angie. But I like this one. She's still got a little edge to her. She's got a little snark, but she's at peace.
暖かい地方がいい。海が見える街がいいわ。
View of the sea. Angie slowly closed her eyes. Things had been pretty crazy lately, and she was tired, because we know, like, in one time lately, she met with Toya, so maybe this is, like, she'll meet her in a different way.
お嬢が次に目を覚ます時にはもう見知らぬ異境ですぜ。ですがそこは海の見える暖かい街です。
期待してるわ。あんたのチョイス。
The car got onto the freeway. It was surrounded by the great river of cars heading east and west. By now, no one could tell which of these points was the car she rode in. Starting today, Ushiromiya Angie would change her name and live in a new climate. Changing her name didn't mean she'd given up on being Angie. This was Angie's. No, Angie Beatrice's mission.
私はエンジェ・ベアトリーチェ、黄金と無限と反言の魔女。
You know, I'm still holding on to hope, especially with that whole thing about Badler when they say, like, he got off the island. I'm like, the protege of Toya could be Angie, but it was the whole thing about being washed up on the shore, being found half dead. I was like, that doesn't sound like Angie. Just because like Angie right now is also 18. I like to think that like they will come in contact and then she'll get to meet her brother again.
1998年の未来に生き残る最後の魔女。
Oh, that one was so good. Oh my gosh, that was as funny as the one with the quote unquote the wrong one with Erica and Angie just going on like a murder spree. That was just so so good. So good. All right, look at that. Look at that. That sun, the sky full of hope and light, golden, how appropriate. So, all right, guys, that will do it for at least the main parts, the finale of Umineko. But of course, we're not done yet. We have the tea party. We've got, you know, the thing afterwards because I'm still waiting for that reunion. I'm still hoping. I'm praying for it. I'm hoping for that miracle that happens. Maybe that's too far out there, but why would they have that whole thing about like Badler getting off the islands, the you know, thing with Hachiko Toya finding somebody who has amnesia, who you know, if their head hurts every time they think about Rokenjima, flashbacks of the family, it's got to be him. And if Angie wants to be an author, right? They have to like they got to see each other. That's what I'm hoping for. That's going to happen maybe in the tea party or in the very final parts. But that was so good. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So, as usual, depending on how long it is, because I've been doing some shorter episodes lately, I'm going to try and see if we can do the tea party and the question mark part all in one go. Unless it's extra long, you guys can let me know. But we will be finishing this very, very soon. And then I will, of course, like let you guys know what's going to be going on afterwards. So thank you so much for watching this. And stay tuned for maybe the finale next week. Bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Kaori Makoto, SM, Revealing Storm, Asborn Kennedy, Harry Gazif, Icognito, Jared Fan, Poxy, Joel Oostman, and Zoran Ether.